Okay, so woke up this morning feeling slight panicky, like how can I explain? Just almost that hyperventilating type of feeling. Like, Lord, I just can't take it no more. It's something got to be done. I don't know how you go sit in how you shake it and yeah, I just feel like something needs to be done and something needs to be done quickly. And I just feeling disappointment and yeah, almost feeling I don't want to say almost, but I was strongly thinking I was feeling hatred once again towards these people. Um, and the thing is, I just get tired of feeling some type of hatred trying to rise up against them. But at the same time, hey, I know it's there for a reason. It's indicating something. So just trusting God still. Just trusting God, because it really does try to disturb your peace. Again, people being miserable. Um, like taking moments of silence to even think and rethink on some stuff. Lord have mercy. Ashikana isarana ikoranda si ashikona. Yesera está isto serene kerero anda si se kerena ikoranda. I think sometimes it just it feels like it hurts more. Like I said on another video, I feel like it just hurts your pride because you feel like you just gotta let people talk to you any kind of way and do certain stuff to you, and ain't nothing you could do. And I guess in previous time, I feel like I've seen God fight battles where I didn't even have to deal with certain stuff like this. Almost up close and personal. Still not personal, and it's not up close enough, thank God, but it's still close. You know what I'm saying? It's still too close for comfort, so it tries to make me uncomfortable and stuff like that. And of course, I know mainly that's what it is, just trying to deceive you into choosing your own discomfort. And so today I still choose comfort. I still choose, definitely comfort from the Lord, and the Holy Spirit comes, alongside of us as a comforter. So I still choose Him. But it's like madness, man. And I mean, I guess that's what it is. Maybe they being driven mad or whatever. Hey, just don't bring it over here. And like that's my thing. You direct it over here, so if you decided to act on something, this would, yeah, almost likely be a place that you would try to direct it. So now, go ahead and keep that over there. Um, I don't know, and just feeling like I don't have nobody to turn to or to help me and stuff like that. Yeah, I want to say complain too, but just feeling like, hey, I don't know, man. No, I'm trusting God to sort it out. A lot of people would say, well, why you doing that? Or some people would say, why you doing that? You waiting on him and you the one. But yeah, no. I just don't know how God will resolve it. Like, and I do be feeling like, Lord, if I ask for a resolve, it's gonna have me doing something that's gonna bring certain attention to myself that I don't want, that I definitely been trying to avoid. And and what I don't feel like is fair. So I don't know, but I still hold accountable some people that's not even present here. Specifically, oh, what's his name? Because you got children here, and again, as a mother, I'm gonna try to protect me and myself and my children. And it's not a job that's supposed to be done by yourself. And then, of course, keep seeing these stories in the news where a mother did something or allowed something around her kids or either, something like that. And again, I always go to, like, but they do got a daddy somewhere too. So he went off somewhere and he, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, he went off somewhere else and that allowed space for the mother to either do it or allow it to happen. And I still, again, in my own quote unquote situation, hold the male accountable, the absent male. But I also, I pray for other women to discern and desire that, you need to hold these, that person needs to be held accountable. You was not the only one who laid down and had those children. You got pregnant, you carried them, and this, that, and the third. And so some stuff, a lot of stuff can be overwhelming when you're trying to watch over children. But that man impregnated you, whether it was, him being mischievous and being a trickster, just wanting to get you to lay down and open your legs, or whether it was something Jay started off as something genuine and then it just changed from there or whatever. Anyway, yeah, he'd be held accountable. And I mean, for my situation, even goes back to my own so-called dad, like held accountable for, I don't know what and how my so-called mom felt as far as raising me and stuff like that, and him being off somewhere else. I don't know. I know before my grandma died, she was telling me some stuff, but I don't know. I never heard the truth or whatever from my so-called mom's mouth. All I heard was that she regretted naming me after my so-called dad, and so that was my thing. I'm just like, oh, okay. And other than that, I mean, and evidently, if you feel regret, then gotta feel some regret with even having a child with this person or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. But that's just the thing. I don't want to sort through that. I actually just want to know the flat out true details regarding that, and if it's even necessary, because I have to sort through my own stuff. So well, I don't want to call it my own, but the things that I've dealt with that I've whether intentionally chose to be a part of or accidentally. And so yeah. Because I'm telling you, I don't like to wake up disappointed and feeling hatred towards anybody or anything like that. I just like to go on about my day. So, of course, now I'm submitting my life and submitting everything, my mind, will, and emotions to God. And it is what it is. If I got to do that every day, 365 days of the year, that's what I choose to do. And try to go on about my business, like, for real. But, held accountable. Then, of course, some confusion try to set in because, again, I grew up with a stepdad, and but even there seeing dishonesty and stuff like that, and again, granted, it seemed like it was small or it was sprinkled here and there, but either way, it's still dishonesty the same way. So that's when you be like, well, damn, who can I trust? Who can I trust to really be, truthful? Had the so-called relationship, well, what I thought with my so-called mom, but she's one that quickly was like, I'm not your mama. So after that, okay. And, whether that's just the enemy in her feeling, getting her in her feelings to make her feel and speak those things, to cause a rift between me and her, then hey, it is, I don't know. I just ask God to sort it out. And then, of course, the abortion and stuff like that. And, just being adamant about stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't understand. I'm lacking some understanding somewhere, seriously. And the Bible's saying all you get understanding. But when I feel like I'm lacking understanding, I do be wanting to get it clarified and you know, I want to know why does this happen? Why does this continue to happen? Why am I targeted over and over and over? And of course, she told me she was pregnant with me. It was a black cat in the closet. She didn't tell me no other details surrounding that. Why would the black Why would a black cat be in there? What was going on? Then, of course, got older, had my own place and stuff like that, my own children. Oh, I had a dream that the enemy was after you. And granted, honey, the enemy definitely came and tried to come full force. And she was like, and it scared her. So I'm just like, well, okay, well, I wanted to ask, well, what scared you? But somebody advised me, not to really take that on because that's somebody else's fear. And I don't need to be living in no type of fear. And when she told me, I didn't really feel fear. I didn't feel scared of the enemy or anything like that. I just felt like, okay, I guess I got informed. And I didn't know how she seen it in her dream and what, what I'm saying, what all happened, what was the result, what did she wake up, I don't know. But, there's things along the way that she has told me or advised me and I didn't fully agree with, it's not that I was trying to spite, but I didn't want to do things for her reasons or whatever. I wanted the chance to live my own life, I don't want to say separate from her, but just, the way that I wanted to live my life. Like I wanted to experience stuff for myself and, but I don't know, man. I just want all this to, of course, go away. And like I said, I had other stuff that's really I had other stuff going on regarding me. What's his name? It's like that was already more than enough. So now, why do I got to deal with this right here, home front? And then I go back to being reminded of when, what's his name was like, oh, your neighbors still don't such and such, and it's like, okay, they don't, but what is that to you? What does that matter to you? Me and them don't. I don't fool with them, but what do that got to do with you? And sometimes I feel like they tried to take stuff out on me because of, him and what, because of course somebody already mentioned, oh, you can do better. And of course, when he went and had a baby with somebody else, oh, he need to stop having all them kids. Y'all, I felt like y'all need to mind your business because I didn't ask for your advice. I'm not saying that he don't, but I'm just saying that it was not y'all place to be. I didn't even ask y'all for none of that. I wasn't asking y'all for anything. That's another thing. I don't be asking people for stuff. I'm going to take what God allows for me and God gives me. I'm going to accept it and receive it freely. I'm not finna be asking nobody's permission to do nothing, to live, to be me, or to of course reside here, but also just whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Like every other day, it might get 2 smooth days, and then next thing I know, these feelings arise back up. And sometimes the feelings and emotions come before something tries to happen, for something else, happens or whatever. And I have done some rearranging and trying to maneuver. I have, moved stuff around so that I don't even have to think about the side of my house. I used to go out my side door often, of course, last year and stuff like that, before they called the police twice. And it's like, man, to me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it for me, not having a roof over my head for me and my kids, or just having to just pick up and just move, knowing I don't have all the resources in place and stuff like that, and just all types of stuff, man. It'd be so much. That's why I just be like, Lord, can you please send somebody to just rescue me? Definitely help, but sometimes I be getting to the point where it's like, okay, there's nothing I can do at all by myself. I really need that help. I really, really need the help of, I need you to just completely send me to that relief. And maybe it's that I need a breakthrough regarding this whole matter. But when I break through, I don't want to keep going through this. Like, this was 2017, and it might even been before then that people start getting in their feelings and start finding. It's like you literally try to find reasons to get offended because I was not doing anything. So you try to come up with reasons to get offended. And to me, as far as it goes back, I pray to God start even there. God knows where whatever entered into their heart towards me as far as being being mad and stuff like that. And I had to even ask the lady, I'm like, well, can you go ahead and forgive for that? Because for one, I'm telling you to forgive because it's beneficial for you. Because for one, if I had to do it over, I'm gonna make the same decision. If I want to speak about any experiences that I've had with people, I don't care if it was old or new, and it still affected me, or it's just on my mind. Just for instance, the abortion thing happened at 17. I'm 35 years old. That's almost 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's still, and whether, I guess, it's still coming up too, because it's no true repentance taking place. So I told her, basically, I didn't tell her like this, but basically I was advising, you need to go ahead and forgive for that, because that's not something you want to live with and walk around with. Then you just, when she forgot, she said, well, I reckon so. Well, that's on you. If you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it like that, because I feel bad for people that can't forgive as easily as I do or choose to, because I know that it's God's power that has to, help you forgive. But then you went on and caked up more stuff to be walking around harboring evil, anger towards. And so, if you couldn't forgive for that, and that wasn't even an offense done towards you, um, I can't imagine when you walking around like this. You know what I'm saying, with whatever unforgiveness. And then, as a male who can't forgive a female and I didn't even do nothing to you, you came out your mouth wrong to me. I be like I said, you going out sad and you going out bad, because and at this point, I don't hate to see it at this point, because I seen, once you see God do something like that, or allow something like that, somebody to be removed again by separation, by death, or just by, maybe even just be preoccupied with something else that they didn't even have to be preoccupied with, had they just, of course, let me tell it, minded their business. That's when I just be like, well, God have your way. Shoot. When it happens in my life, God have your way. I don't like to see certain stuff take place with me, or certain things that have happened. And but God is God, and it is what it is, and He ain't gonna be mocked. But thank you, Lord. And then, speaking of mockery, that was the thing. I started praising God the other day when I got called out my name, this, that, and the third. And this person is similar to the another person who laughed when somebody said, she over there praying them devil prayers and this, that, and the third. And next thing you know, that person got beat up. Like, it didn't take too long. That person got beat up right there where they stood. But it was their older generation who laughed and mocked and didn't stop and didn't intervene. They just thought it was so funny. Hasiara ishaka itaranaha ikora handasi ashakaranaha ishaka ishara rishna ikora sostostasikanaha. They thought it was so funny, didn't intervene. Like, just natural. Even if you don't know on a supernatural level or spiritual, you see your kids doing some mean stuff and even mocking or bullying or bothering somebody, I would think that you would want to stop. But because of the bullying you, or the insecurity in you or whatever, you want to see somebody going through something. Oh, I want them to pick on that person because, whether it's I don't like them, or I don't like this. Mainly, you don't like yourself. And that person is out there living and enjoying and freely living their life. But anyway, that's just my thing. I mean, I've been at the point where I've been wanting to see something happen, and I don't necessarily be having to see it. Shoot, I don't necessarily got to hear about it. I just want peace in my spirit that, God is handling this. God has taken, it's handled and taken care of. That's what I want. And I don't got to be concerned about it anymore. Like, literally, again, going back to the what's his name's now deceased mom. Like, she tried to. It was you projecting that I'm harassing you, but it's you bothering me through your own son and your so-called daughter, or whatever. I don't want to say so-called daughter, but your son and your daughter, and you thinking that they finna. And no, you sending out a certain type of, I always call it a spiritual hit, but a certain type of spiritual, like, harassment and just nuisance in the spirit regarding my life and my house and my kids. And because of your inadequacies or whatever. And yeah, now it's at the point where she personally can never bother or orchestrate anything ever again. Now, again, they can hang on to her being in the grave and try to feel like they drawing power, but that's when you're drawing power from the enemy at this point. I mean, she was an enemy when she was alive, but you're drawing power from the enemy, and that's dark works, and that's not going that's going to help you to self-destruct and stuff like that and whatever. I mean, I can go into details about that. but but she could never do that again, and that's my aim and my goal at this point. Like, I want them to not be able to ever do that again. Ever do any of the things that they have been doing. I mean, calling the police for no reason, petty reasons, uh, coming over in my yard, period. Like, I don't, baby, I'm not speaking this older life, but if I could envision it, it'd be something like, honey, if you're not dead, then you're going to be paralyzed or something. Something's going to take place in your life where you're not going to even, you ain't going to feel like bothering with me. You ain't going to, you might think about it, but you ain't going to be able, you're going to be too preoccupied with having to do something else. And, that'd be my first hope as far as just not going off the deep end and just outright wanting you dead. And again, I go here because I seen it. I seen somebody bothering with me, somebody brush up against me. They lost a child. I seen, this lady try to say that I was harassing her or cyber stalking her. I was doing this, that, and the third, and went and pressed charges. And it was again petty and mean. And then that person is dead. Then I seen, her mom wasn't too far to follow because again, she could be somebody that was potential. She was the one that probably trained her in them ways and probably tried to turn from her stuff and it manifested in her child. And it's like, that's not good. She followed her own daughter, you know. Shortly after, I seen another who held my child and was trying to walk my child across the street and telling what you trying to do, and was also wanting to pick my other child up and was also just other little stuff, and they're not here no more. And I don't want to say, I hate to say that it was all within the same bloodline for the most part, or they all in some type of way was connected to the same bloodline, but it is what it is. So I've seen the devil, I've seen the enemy defeated. And it was in ways that I did not expect or really see coming, but I was definitely grateful for it. It brought relief to my life. It definitely did. And I'm like, thank you, Lord. And so at this point, I'm feeling like, in like manner, I want relief from my life because you're harassing me, you're bothering me, not bothering you. You like, it's almost like you trying to go out your way to bother with me. This basically is like, that's all you think about is trying to find a way to tamper with me, everything but physically bothering with me. And that's my thing. I don't want it to get physical, but at the same time, sometimes I get to the point where it's like, okay, well, it's gonna take a little street justice because yeah, but I know, it's me and my kids here, so unless God empowers me to overpower a couple of people, you know just don't want it to go there. But I don't know what else needs to be done. God knows. I know what I need to do. Still focus on certain stuff. We got back. I'm still unpacking and still doing stuff like that. And I got, you know what I'm saying? I got things that I'm concerned about regarding here. But again, as the so-called man of the house, held accountable because we tending to forget. I'm telling you, if you go back to the Bible where they say, well, Eve, the one who did it first. Yeah, the devil got her deceived into giving to her husband who was with her. He was there. He wasn't off nowhere else. I used to think he was off somewhere, but the Bible clearly states that he was there. Genesis 3:6, and the Bible clearly states that the instruction was given to the man. So first, so in that order, obviously, held accountable. Of course, he used it. This particular male, used his female counterpart, quote unquote counterpart, as a pawn. So hey, sometimes when you use as a pawn, that means you basically like a ride or die, and you don't care what happens to you. And a lot of now I've known that some of these males, because the what's his name was like, oh, you got more charges than I do. Instead of you asking how did that get there and wanting to help me and wanting to get me to a higher place, and asking me, are those charges even real? And then you actually seen your own mom press false charges too and do, false petty charges and stuff like that. So you knew that could indicate, oh dang, well, if my mom did it to her, other people. And then you feeling, I guess, higher and like, oh well, she matters less than me. No, that's not the way that God, that's not the way that God had it. That's not order. That's not right. So, with that happening in my life, that indicates that men don't be caring sometimes that, oh, well, yeah, I'd rather it be her than me. And that's, evidently that's just what's going on with him because he calls the police quick. Honestly, she'll try to handle business more so than she doesn't handle it, of course, professionally, and she doesn't handle it with couth or anything like that. She don't handle it respectfully, but she'll be quick to handle business. And I don't, that's my type of person, honestly. But except, it's disrespectfully done, it's distastefully done, and it's vile, but I don't know. That's why I say I don't know what they got going on in that household or whatever, or what's amongst them or between them. But of course, she told me years back that he was a PUSSY, and that's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I can relate and know. I know dudes or people like that, cowards like that, but you gotta pray for that man to have courage and stuff like that. And then he gotta accept and receive that. You can't just speak insults and think that's what's gonna happen. And so, and for me, that was my thing. I prayed, that, oh, what's his name would have courage, but, he fainted. He chose to faint instead of. And that's the thing. You got them options. You could choose to go forth and be courageous in the Lord, or you can choose to faint. And because you've been picked up so much stuff regarding the world, that you just like, I rather run and hide. And I mean, he literally told before my grandma passed on, he told my grandma that